sex before marriage. I mean, for men, it's to me more obvious. It's like they have it where they want to get off, so they're not thinking about even if they treat a woman like a wife, but she doesn't treat them like a husband. Like she doesn't want to take their last name. She doesn't want to, you know, commit to him for the rest of their life. She doesn't want to, uplift him and follow his values. It's a trade-off. It's a sex for provision and providing. And even if the woman makes money, just the presence of a man, women feel better and they like to follow men. And that's one of the reasons they have premarital intimacy. It's because they follow men, and some men want that. So the woman, they follow along with what the man wants, right? Especially if it's a quote unquote alpha guy with ideal or optimal genetics and who has money or status. And so here's the thing. Another reason is because of the convenience of it, the contraception aspect of it. But guys, contraception is not good. Contraception involves either damaging the woman's hormonal system with the pills, or having sex that's not as satisfying with condoms. And all of it, and then you might ask, well, what if you're a married couple and you don't want to have children but you want to have sex? Well, then you can go through procedures. I think the one that's done on women, the mastectomy, maybe it's called, that's a more safer one than the vasectomy. Hey, what's up, Tech? I only have a brief moment here, Tech, so I'm gonna be reviewing some notes I have. Sometimes I want to get things out there, right? And so another reason, right? People realize reproduction is difficult, so they don't orient their life around that. Like for me, I orient my life around, hey, what type of woman do I think would be good to grow a baby in, essentially? And when you're thinking from that level, you're going to be much more selective as to who you might want to devote your time and energy to as a man, as the masculine aspect. Like, unless a woman has the same values as me, I would never want to give her money or sex. Because why would you want to get close to somebody who you don't care about? And that's another reason why people have premarital intimacy, because it's like a drug, a distraction from the harshness of life. But just like how people are healthy and happy in certain poor kind of countries, like in maybe it's certain Latin countries or Africa, or just places where it's less advanced of a nation, but they still are healthy and happy. They work hard, and their bodies and their minds are in strong spirits. The men are necessary, quote unquote, because they have to do masculine, or they have to do difficult tasks that only men can really do. And so that provides an environment where the men feel needed, and the women want to be feminine and have that man, right? But in the modern advanced society, of course I'm not going to fucking want to give up the modern technology. Like, I'm not saying that it would be beneficial to revert to, say, behaving like, what are they called, the Mennonites or Quakers, whoever these people are who try to practice like escaping into the jungle, whatever it is. So staying on topic, what women do is they also are subject to their emotions. Tech. That's good, Tech. So women are more easily controlled by their emotions than others. All right. Now, another reason, it's really about men. It's about that their fathers put them in environments where they can get exposed to other men. See, this whole thing is about men not respecting men, a man not respecting a woman, even if the woman's father isn't around. If a guy, if when I see a woman I like and I'm ready for marriage, I'm gonna ask her, are you, have any interest in marriage in your future? And then if she has an interest in me, I would ask, then I'd like to talk to, a man in your life, like father, uncle, brother. And this is how men, as men, this is how we respect each other. And also men acting like they wouldn't prefer a virgin. Like it's all the whole women having this premarital intimacy. The irony is even quote unquote alpha males who are supposed to, in theory, be able to get the best woman, which I would think is a virgin woman that's attractive. Even they can't get that because of the society that they created. See, alpha men kind of have the influence and lead in society, and they need to create a society that they would want to get, rather than these quote unquote alpha guys like Andrew Tate or Myron Gaines, Fresh and Fit, going to having premarital intimacy in America and then going abroad to find a more conservative, civilized society where the women are actually treated like women. And see, men don't really have this logic. Like, how would you want your daughter to be treated? Would you not want her to, be really respected by men? And if a man liked her, wanted to marry her, then he talked to you first as the guardian. Like, come on. And women will fight back against this, but it's only because they've not had a society and a father that was understanding of, that women need to be treated like the greatest in the world, the greatest object. Because we are all objects in this physical plane. That's why I worship the vulva. That's a physical thing. It's a clitoris and a labia, right? It's not like this God or Jesus, which is this abstract idea. So, and the worship of the vulva is much more significant than other sex acts I'd like to represent, because it doesn't rely on a man just wanting to get off and these kind of, these biological urges. It's more of a conscious, intentional thing. It's like, I want to celebrate the woman. And that's why people should not be so concerned about the size of their genitals, men's genitals, or the size of women's breast size. Yeah. So, what else? Almost there, guys. Almost there. Yeah, let's see. Checking my notes here. People say there's no way to determine sexual compatibility. That's one of their biggest arguments for seeking premarital intimacy. But guess what? You can easily talk to someone in a private manner and ask them, what they, if you're, after you establish that there's interest and the father or uncle, the brothers are made known of it, then you can have these private email conversations with the woman and talk about your sexual expectations, the type of intimacy you want and the frequency you want it, everything. I mean, and women should know themselves. They should know, by using toys, realistically what their internal vagina is like, right? But okay, so and here's the last final thought. So people might say, oh well, it's not fair for me to say people should be able to do whatever they want. But if you look up the mouse utopia experiment, it reveals that when people do that, it ends up collapsing society. And people might think I'm being envious of alpha males or wanting to control them. Well, what I want is I'd like to see alpha males, quote unquote, with an attractive woman. I'd like to, even if they're open to creating adult movies, entertainment for us, great. But I think it should only be with one woman, so that the other woman can be with other men. Yeah. And so that's where I am. That was about 5 points, but thanks for tuning in, and you guys take care. I'm gonna okay, so yeah, just rewind it if you want to consider the points again, and I'll see you in the next video.